Hi everyone. In last lecture I explained about Python loops as a theory part. So in this lecture I would like to run all those programs in online Python compiler. So if you don't have any software like if you don't have Python software in your laptop or phone, then you can search it Google as online Python compiler. So then you can practice those programs in online Python compiler. So here in last lecture I already explained about while loop example and for loop example and nested loop example. So in this lecture I would like to explain those all and I would like to run all those programs. So search it in Google as online Python compiler. So yeah, I am opening first link. Delete all this program here. First of all, I have to write the program for while loop. So that is, I already explained that program in last lecture. So now we will see that program is running or not. So now write program for while loop. First of all, count is equal to 0. So here the count value, first of all initially we assign the count value is 0. Next, while count less than 9. So here I mentioned count less than 9, that I would like to print count values up to 8. So that's why I mentioned condition as count less than 9. That means the loop is repeated until the count value becomes less than 9. So now we have to write the statement inside the while loop. So here is the condition. So now we have to write statement print open brace apostrophes the count is and close apostrophes comma count and close the bracket. So this is the print statement that I would like to print the up to 8 counts and count is equal to count plus 1. I am incrementing the count value after printing that statement. So here next, after finishing the count values less than 9, then we came out of the loop and the statement is print goodbye. So after, if the condition is false, then I would like to print goodbye statement. So that's why I wrote this print statement out of the while loop. See clearly indentation. After the two statements that I wrote print and count here inside the loop. Now we have to see the code is executing and we get output as count is 0 and count is 1 and count is 2, count is 3 and up to count value is 8, and finally we got goodbye because of we are mentioning in the program as count less than value. So it will print 0 to 8 values. We are printing 9 values and later we print that goodbye statement. So this is about while statement. Now we have to see for else statement, else with while. Now we are using while statement and else statement in the same program. So now count is equal to 0 and while the condition is count less than 5 and colon. So now the inside loop, the statement is print open bracket count comma apostrophes is less than 5. So this is about print statement that I would like to print up to count values less than 5. Later the count value is incremented by 1, that is count is equal to count plus 1. So this is the statement that it will increment the count value after printing the statement, every statement. So next I am writing else. Else colon print of count comma apostrophes is not less than 5 and close the bracket. So this is the program else statement with while statement. Here while the condition is true, it will print count is less than 5. If the condition is false, then it prints the else statement as count is not less than 5. So this is how we write the else statement with while statement. See, the code is executing and we get that up to 4 values we have the output, and later the condition becomes false. So that's why it executes the else statement as 5 is not less than 5. So this is the else statement with while statement. Suppose here see, this is the output, we get up to 4 values we get output, and later we get count is not less than 5. So if you write in the place of count is equal to 1, so see here what happens, I deleted the increment statement, then count becomes always 1 less than 5 only. Then in this condition while goes to infinite loop. So that means this will show, so see is the infinite loop because we didn't have any stop for output, because it is the infinite loop. So don't repeat that condition because it will print infinite times. So whenever if we didn't use the increment values and condition properly, then it will goes to infinite loop. So now we will see example for loop. For letter in range, later we will see in the place in range function. Now we will see for letter in Python. So here Python is the one string that I am using in the for loop, and later in the statement in the loop I will like to print as current letter and colon apostrophe is close comma letter. So close bracket, and now I am taking one list as fruits list. Its name is fruits, variable name is fruits here, and the values in that the fruits variable is square bracket, and in the single apostrophes I mentioned some of the fruits. First of all banana and comma, and again apostrophe apple and comma and mango. So here these are the fruits that I stored in fruits variable. Now we are using for loop. So for fruit in fruits colon print current fruit apostrophes current fruit colon apostrophes close comma fruits. So and later finally we are writing out of the statement, out of the loop, print open bracket apostrophes goodbye. So this is the statement that we wrote outside the loop. After completion of those two for loops, then it will print the goodbye statement. So now we will see here letter in Python. That means here letter is a iterating variable. It will Python. How many letters in Python? Python we have 6 letters. It will print the 6 letters one by one. P, Y. First it will print the current letter P. Later it will print current letter Y, T up to n letters. So if all letters in Python complete printing, then it goes to fruits. Here in fruits again it checks the condition. If the fruits in the fruits list, if the fruit is present, then it will print the, here I mentioned 3 fruits: banana, apple, mango. See the output. First of all it will print the all the letters in Python. So P, first letter, current letter P, current letter Y, current letter T, current letter H, current letter O, current letter N, later confirm banana, apple, mango. Later it will, after completion of execution of 2 for loops, later it will print the out of the loop. It comes out of the loop and print goodbye. So this is the for loop example. And another example that we discussed in the previous lecture is that for loop with range, index. So index by sequence. Here another way of using for loop is, now we will see that for using index range also we can use for loop. So first of all I am mentioning fruits is equal to banana and comma single apostrophe apple comma again single apostrophe mango and close the square bracket. And now we are using the for loop with the syntax, if the index. For index in range, open bracket, len, open bracket, fruits, close bracket and close another bracket also, and now colon. Now we will print the statement that is in inside the loop, that is print double quotations current fruit double quotations colon double quotation close comma fruits. And close the bracket. Next, outside the loop statement, that is print goodbye. So this is the statement that we wrote outside the loop, print goodbye. This is the program for writing the for loop with index and range. So see the output, it will print the output 3 times. Why? Because in program we wrote that we are mentioning that len of fruits. Here len instruction is the built-in instruction. It means that it gives the output, it measures the length of the fruits. What is the length of the fruits? 3. So it will print the 3 times. It will print the within the loop statement 3 times because the length of fruits is 3. So that's why it will print 3 times. After completion of that one, it will print goodbye. So this is about for loop with index and range. Okay, now we will see output for nested loop. So in nested loop, I would like to print prime numbers. So first of all, initializing, first of all I is equal to 2, and while, because why I taken I is equal to 2 means because in prime numbers we have to, the starting prime number is 2. So that's why I initialized I is equal to 2, and while open bracket I less than 50. This is the condition that I would like to, because I would like to print prime numbers below 50, and j is equal to 2, and while, that means loop inside loop. Here we are using nested while loop. One loop, one while loop inside we are writing another while loop. So while j less than is equal to open bracket I by j and close the bracket colon. Again we are using inside while loop, we are using if loop, if condition, if not I by j colon break. Next, j is equal to j plus 1, we are incrementing the j value. So here later, if open bracket j greater than I by j close the bracket colon print open bracket I comma apostrophes is prime and close the bracket I is equal to I plus 1. Later, this is the statement that I write out of the while loop. So print goodbye. So this is the statement that I would like to print after the completion of while loop condition and print goodbye. So now we will see that this code is executing or not. So this is a nested while loop program. This is the logic for for finding prime numbers. You can write any logic to print prime numbers. This is not only one way. This is not only one logic to print prime numbers. We have so many different ways to write program to print prime numbers. So this is the one way I used here. You can try your own way in online compiler. After completion of this lecture, you can also practice these examples in online Python compiler. Then you have practice daily on these programs. Then you will get Python language very easily. Python coding is very easily. So now we will see the output. And 2 is prime. Here it will print prime numbers up to 49. And after completion of 49, it will print goodbye. So this is the output for prime numbers. And if you like this lecture, you can subscribe my channel, and if you have any doubts in this lecture, you can ask me in comment section. I will rectify those problems, and I would like to answer those questions. And you can also practice these examples in online Python compiler after whenever you have free time. So I hope that everyone understand this lecture. Thank you.